What's up, everyone?
Yo.
How you doing? How you feeling?
I'm a wee bit sore.
I am feeling my age.
Oh, no.
I am. Yes.
No.
Not only did fight camp start and I started, pushing the pace with the sparring and the sprints, but I was invited to a twerking class yesterday.
Who would do that to you during fight
I
camp?
don't know. Not a friend. Apparently, not a friend.
I figured that if you were too tired, you'd simply turn me down. And you decided to be too tired and go.
Halfway through the first hour, I was like, this was probably a bad idea.
It was
but
a
I'm
2-hour
here.
class.
It was a 2-hour class.
It was,
And then the class after that was an hour and a half or 2 hours.
it was an hour and a half, but like they kept
Felt like
going.
three. Felt like three.
They were closing the place down. We had to grab our stuff and just be like, okay, never mind. We're just
They
leaving.
don't care.
They don't care.
They don't care. They're getting content right now.
It was
Oh, my
fun
God.
though. We did what's her name? Nastya Nass. She's YouTube famous, so maybe some of our listeners or watchers, what do you call YouTube people? Podcasters, followers, subscribers. Yes,
Yes.
that's what I was saying.
Hey.
Maybe some of our subscribers know her, but her name is Nastya Nass. I think she's like Russian or something.
She's definitely Russian.
Yeah, she's like you got to go to the left, then to the right,
And
to the left,
and up and down. And
up, and
Up,
down,
up.
down.
down.
You're not going up. You're going down. You're going up, down, left, right. Like, aw, I thought I was doing it right, but no, it was fun. It was fun because not all of us are blessed like Alien Perez. So as soon as we started fighting and training and getting strong, our butts pretty much just stopped moving.
They stopped moving.
Like they had their little muscle butts, little rock booties.
Well, yours is a little bit more muscly than mine, but I just don't have the back dexterity to move, to make it move.
You need to stop putting your butt down. There's muscle back there, and it's holding you back.
It's a mixture.
The muscle is just like, no, we have to stay in place so we can shoot.
We have to stabilize your spine.
Yeah. We need to throw a tight punch and squeeze the butthole so that everything lands hard and fast. So it's hard to loosen up back there. But I felt like I got a little bit of pop going.
I had a little.
Just
yeah.
not much.
But as
Probably
she
not
said,
visible to camera.
No, it was visible. You had those short shorts.
Mine. Oh, really?
Yeah,
It was?
I saw it moving.
Thanks.
Yeah, no, thank you.
Yeah.
But as she said, little butts have to work harder.
They do. I love that she said that.
Yeah.
Because it made it feel like, okay, yeah, it's hard, but it's not impossible.
Every butt can. It's just going to take a little bit more effort sometimes.
Yeah.
You know?
So it was a lot of fun. We did it with our girl Chelsea, who was in our fake sexy red music video.
Mm-hmm.
So if you guys saw that and you saw the girl who was censored, she also went to the twerk class with us.
Yes.
Not that she needed it, but even she learned something cool. So
Yeah,
it
just
was
a little more butt control.
mm-hmm.
Come in handy in jiu-jitsu
Yeah.
and other things in life.
Did you see Jon Jones using his butt control on who is it? It's like
On an 80-year-old woman?
yeah, she's like the mom something she always wears a Khabib hat. I think it's the same chick. The old lady who wears the Khabib hat, who like gets all the fighters to sign her shirt or something. Yeah, she was at something and Jon Jones was there and he backed it up on her.
That's cute.
It was pretty cute.
Made her day.
Yeah, she didn't file a lawsuit against him, so it was very innocent.
There were lots of cameras, all angles. Everything's fine.
Yeah. Oh man, I am loving Jon Jones's wholesome era. Like I feel like even though he's ducking everyone.
Oh, you saw that Tom Aspinal rubber ducky? I was like, what's that? Oh, I get it.
Yeah.
I get it. Well played. It was cute.
Yeah, it's cute. It's cute. People seem to be super upset about it, but how old is Tom Aspinall? I feel like he still has a lot of juice to squeeze. Like, it's not holding him back.
I mean, I think it's holding him back from his goal.
Mm-hmm.
You know, what else is he going to do? He wants to fight the best. He wants to fight for the title.
Yeah, but he's probably not going to fight Jon Jones. Or if he does, it's just going to be, like, end of the year, probably.
I know. So what does he do? Sit out and wait?
Yeah. I would wait, but, like, at the same time, it's, you wonder if he's making enough at this point to wait. You know what I mean?
I think he could wait a little bit. He's had enough bonuses.
Yeah.
To line his pockets for a year.
You think so?
Maybe. I hope so.
Know.
I
well,
hope
you
so.
do get pay-per-view points for interim, right? And he fought once. He defended it once. So he got those pay-per-view points. And those usually set you up for at least a year. Mm-hmm. And so I think that was a little more than a year. I think that was about a year ago. I'll double check. But yeah, I don't know. I think the smartest thing for him to do is wait, because at some point they're gonna have to say yes. And I feel like
or strip him.
And I feel like the big thing holding everything up is that Jon Jones is probably asking for an exorbitant amount of money.
Probably. And he's just being a diva because he can.
Okay, so July 2024. So it hasn't been a year yet. So I think he's good right now. And he was saying that it's going to take like 6 months once he signs the contract.
I heard about that.
Yeah, he's really just taking his time.
Because he can.
Because he can.
Because he wants to be a brat about it.
I feel like if you get to that point, you should be as bratty as possible.
I mean, to a certain extent, yes, I like to think that, you know, somebody with those kind of bargaining chips can, you know, dig their heels in and get what they want.
Yeah.
But at the same time, there comes a point where you should just be like, all right, I've dug my heels in long enough. It's inevitable. It's going to happen. I need to make this happen, you know, for whatever reason, or vacate, or just be like, you know what? Hey, I don't want to do this. Mm-hmm. Not just be difficult for the sake of being difficult.
Yeah. Like Conor McGregor did. He was so not difficult when he was active. What do you think's happening with that? Who was it? I guess Connor's not really doing anything right now. Now
he's doing stuff, just not of the fighting.
What is it? He made the news. Oh, he was at the White House.
Yeah, he was at the White House, trying to do something for Ireland. What a guy!
Nice.
Yeah.
Is he trying to get rid of the laws against sexual assault in Ireland?
I think that was denied.
That's the president to ask.
Oh, stop it.
Hey. Yeah, this is a great thing that we're that we're stuck in right now. Anyway, the fights, London.
Yeah, which one do you want to start with?
I mean, let's start with the main.
Let's start with the main.
Oh, poor Leon, man.
You know what? I was really hoping that it was just you know, his last fight with Bilal for the title. I was really hoping it was a time thing. I was hoping that there were just some things that didn't come together in camp for him, but he kind of showed up the same.
Yeah.
In this one. And I'm not saying that, you know, it was just him not showing up, because Brady really put it on him. Brady had a game plan set. He knew the route to victory and he stuck with it and he got it.
Yeah.
You know, those the pressuring that he did with his punches, and he doesn't have as many tools as Leon in the striking department, but he was Leon was pushed back so much and he was scared of the takedown, or apprehensive about the takedown, and it really shut down his striking game. So Brady was able to come in repeatedly with the overhand right, get the takedown, and then stay on him, just heavy backpack, wet blanket kind of techniques, and then eventually got the submission.
Yeah, it's when you look at when Leon doesn't feel comfortable, that's exactly what Brady did. He pushed him back. He was using his pressure, throwing big combinations, and then he got right in his face too. That was something that I was really impressed with because it worked. Like, that's the thing, to just throw Leon off his game, make him be on the back foot from the beginning of the fight. Like, first thing he does is just runs at him with punches in the first round. Second round, runs at him with a takedown. Like, those are things that really spooked Leon and made him not really able to get his game started. It almost felt like watching someone with PTSD from a loss, PTSD from the original Usman fight that he ended up winning, but still he had that defeated demeanor about him the entire time. And in this one, it was the same thing. He just couldn't get his gas going. And here, I think there was a big difference in his grappling. Like, before, I think he believed in his grappling enough to counter, to move, to roll through, to try different things. I felt like he wasn't trying to move in this. He was more defensive than anticipating a move and trying to get ahead of it. And when you see people kind of tighten up like that, eventually the grappler gets what they want. Like, the guy on top is able to find the opening because he's just kind of staying still and staying tight and trying to stay safe.
I feel like the threat of the submission was so much more probable in this fight than it was with Bilal, than it was with Usman.
Yeah.
There he just had to wrestle. He just had to get up. He didn't have to worry about his limbs, his neck, anything like that. And with Brady, that was such a real threat. Mm-hmm. And I think that's what probably slowed him down and kind of halted the explosiveness, the scrambles, the really trying to move, just because he didn't know, or because he knew that there was so much danger potential.
Yeah, and I think that kind of screwed him in the end, because if he had wrestled through everything, I feel like we would have seen him get a lot more escapes, be able to get up to his feet a little bit more. He was just stuck. And that fear of moving really made it, I guess, easier for him to get submitted, as opposed to like some of the other guys who would move with Brady, who would make it hard for Brady to get a finish against him. He just kind of tightened up and didn't want to do anything. Yeah, it's really rough to see that happen, because, when you watch tape, when you watch like how he did versus Bilal compared to how Brady did versus Bilal, you felt like Leon had a lot of ways to win this fight. And like you said, you don't want to say that he didn't show up, because Brady has been getting a lot better every time he got out there. Like, you see big jumps, and even his striking from the Bilal fight to his fight with who did he beat last? Vulcan or something? Or
I thought he fought Burns.
He fought Burns. Who's the other person he beat? But, even that one, from a big jump from the Bilal fight to the Burns fight, his striking looked incredibly different. He looked more comfortable on his feet. He didn't look wobbly. He wasn't getting hit as much. He was really aggressive and deliberate with what he wanted to do. And then you see him in this fight, and again, look very good on the feet, just aggressive, pushing forward, throwing punches and bunches. And that's the kind of thing that really throws Leon off. Yes, he was able to get the clean shots when he would counter, but it wasn't enough to push him back. And speaking of back, Sean Brady's back. I think that's the secret to his success.
His back?
His hunch.
That hump. You just call him a humpback?
That hump on his back, that's where the power from his guillotine comes from. That's where the chin on him comes from. The power in his punches, like everything. The pressure that he gives you when he pushes you up against the fence. You see that back with that big lump of muscle back there. It looks like a crab. Like, no, seriously. No, I'm saying this is a compliment. That back is going to get him the championship belt, because I feel like his pressure is probably different from everyone else that Leon fought.
So, I mean, that being said, this fight probably put him back up in that number one spot.
Yeah.
For a title fight.
Yeah.
Now, do you think that, I mean, you know, if Bilal wins his fight, his defense against the title, do you think that the improvements that Brady have made will be enough to get Bilal out of there?
I don't know. But it's the way that he looked against Leon looked completely different from the way that he looked against Bilal. Like it's weird that it's the same fighter.
He closed some crazy gaps with his striking.
Yeah.
He's always had such great grappling submissions. He's been super strong in that area. And now he has the striking to match. And now he has a path to the takedown so that he can be dominant. I think, and that gap was filled in just such a short amount of time from the Bilal fight to when he fought Gilbert Burns. It was night and day. His punches are straight, are crisp. He's reading things differently. He's making really good decisions.
Yeah, and how much time was that between those two fights?
So
I was thinking of the last person Ulberg fought, which is totally random. But yes, he did. His last fight was Gilbert Burns.
Yeah. And that was a question mark fight. Because they're pretty equal in the grappling area. They're both like very decorated, very dominant grapplers. But Burns had a little bit more, you know, experience with the striking, mixing things up, a little bit more educated on the feet. And
Burns didn't want to be on the ground with Brady.
No.
Yeah, so that had to be a big confidence boost for him. But you could also argue that he didn't want to be on the ground with Brady because he knew he could knock him out if he kept him on the feet.
Yeah.
Or that's like the idea, at least.
Yeah. So Brady lost in October 2022 to Bilal.
Okay.
And then he fought Kevin Gastelum in 2023. He beat him by decision, Kimura. And then he fought Gilbert Burns in September 2024. So that's a really impressive leap right there.
Yeah. And the way that Gilbert Burns wrestled with Brady, that's kind of what I expected Leon Edwards to do. Just kind of anticipate the takedown, roll through, do things like that to create chaos, create a scramble, because we've seen him do it before. We've seen him do it with Usman in the second fight. He really showed off his grappling. I think for the first time, people were really respecting it. And then with Colby too, he ended up taking him down. Like there were a lot of moments in Leon's like recent history where you're like, oh, okay, like Leon's pretty good on the ground. So I really expected him to use that against Brady. And the one time he did, he almost paid really bad for it.
In a front headlock.
Oh my God.
And on the ground for the whole round.
But it was the one place you wouldn't want to use it against Brady. Like, okay, like don't go for a takedown in the open. If anything, just keep moving once the grappling happens.
Yeah.
But in this fight, like, you know, you get tired, nothing's working. You're like, all right, fuck it, I'm just gonna shoot. And he committed so hard to the shot that he just got sprawled on, and that could have been really bad for him. He ended up getting submitted later on in the fight. And how'd you like that guillotine that he got him with? That was
it was beautiful.
Slick.
Yeah, that's kind of his thing. He's good at grabbing up the necks.
Yeah, I was just gonna say, does he always set it up like that from top?
He is a top player for sure. He's definitely a pressure grappler and great on top. He was just really patient. He grabbed up the neck with one arm, and then he was still in half guard at that point, and then he started working his way to mount, eventually got his hands together, and Leon had no choice but to tap. It was really tight.
Nice. I like that. I would definitely be into training that on Monday if you're around. Because, that's what happens every time a cool submission happens in the UFC. Everyone's trying to do it the next day. So expect that.
Yay.
Tuesday grappling. Everyone's going to be like, no, I know what you're doing. Stop it. Relax. You don't have a Brady back. It's not going to work.
You got a little Brady back.
Do I?
Yes, you do.
Thank you. That's what I should have been popping last night. If only people liked when you make your hump move, I'd be in business.
It's a different twerk, the lesser popular of the twerks.
Yes, but it's still a twerk.
It is.
Make that back jiggle. Pay the bills. Pay the bills after you're done.
Just give them something to look at.
Oh my God.
The illusion.
You know, one of the things that made me stop Googling myself when we were on Tough and they started releasing the episodes, I was like, oh, let me see what they think about me. And the first thing that came up was a Reddit thread, and it said, Angela Hill has back boobs.
What?
Yeah. And I was wearing a top. No, it was actually really funny. I was wearing a top, and it looked like, because it was like a tank top, it looked like my head was on backwards because my back cleavage is so like
Pronounced?
Yes. I have a nice thick Brady back with a nice deep back cleavage. And it was actually kind of hot. I was like, maybe I could just Photoshop my head facing forward and then everyone's going to think I'm stacked.
I mean, you could try.
Yeah.
You're great at Photoshop these days.
Oh, I could definitely try. It's just, do I want to? Do I want that image in my head?
Why not? Give it to everybody else.
Nightmare fuel. Yeah, so that was one of the things that made me stop Googling myself. Like, I don't need to know what other people think about
I
me.
literally
and my
never
back
Google
boobs.
myself.
Don't.
No, I won't. Why would I do
Don't.
that? I've never been on a Reddit thread.
Dude, I was
anything.
young in the game when we were on Tough. I didn't know what it was to be on the internet and people know who you are. Like, all my internet people were friends and family. You know?
Yeah, no.
Like, I had just gotten an
safe.
Instagram.
It's
like,
not safe out
no,
there.
it's horrible.
It's not.
I hate it.
The one time that I did it was after like my second or third fight, just because an interview came up. It was like a post-fight interview.
Oh, okay.
After I was all frazzled and
Yeah.
partially concussed.
Aw.
And they were asking me to walk them through a submission, and I was just like, there's a lot going on there. Da, 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 da. And somebody commented below, somebody help me, I'm not smart.
Aw.
Or somebody help me, I'm stupid. I was like, well, that just ended my relationship with the internet.
Oh my God.
Like, you try
The
having a
internet's
conversation
horrible.
with somebody after you've just been in a fist fight.
Yeah. The
Come on.
internet is super judgmental. When I was a kid back in the AOL days, I would go on this cat forum because I had pet cats.
Yeah.
And then they would all be talking about like the proper ways to care for cats. And I forget what I wrote, but I asked about something. And everyone was like, you're so stupid. Why would you do that to a cat? That's horrible. Blah, 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 blah. And it wasn't anything weird. It was like, oh, what cat food should you get? This is the cat food I use or something. It was something like very normal.
Uh-huh.
And they went crazy. So I was just like, damn, like the cat forums are brutal.
All forums are brutal.
Yeah, and that's just like the way the internet has been since AOL, which Jessica still has an email for.
Yeah, it's my first ever. I'm traditional.
Yeah.
I appreciate the old ways.
Yeah, good for you.
Yeah, tradition.
I couldn't possibly keep my AOL name.
What was it? What was it?
This is very innocent. I had no intention of it not being innocent. This is just me liking what I liked, but it was Black Kitty. Oh.
Of course it was.
I was a late bloomer. I had no idea what people would think it was about. But I liked cats. That's why I was in the cat forum.
Yeah,
I had
of course.
2 cats. I loved them. I like taught them tricks.
Oh, you're so cute.
Oh God. Set myself up for failure.
Oh my God. Could you imagine if you put that out into the world today?
No. No, that's not gonna happen.
Oh man.
Oh man. Anyway, Edwards, Sean Brady. Who do you think is next for Sean Brady? Do you think he's next for the title?
I think he's next in line.
Yeah, right? Like, who else would it be? Shavkat, right? That's the only other person who could fight the winner of Bilal versus
But is he still injured?
Homeboy. He was injured and he pulled from that fight. But
Do you think that they would pair them up together?
That would be so rude.
Right?
I feel like you shouldn't take that opportunity from either one of them. Like, let them both fight for the title first, and then if one of them wins, then they get to fight each other. But if they lose, or if they both lose to Bilal, then they have to fight each other. Like, I would be really disappointed if two prospects got taken out, or one of the two prospects got taken out just to have a regular fight.
Man, I wonder because, okay, Shavkat's number 2.
Yeah.
Leon Edwards was number 1. I guess maybe that would move Sean Brady up to number 2.
Yeah, well, they said that Sean Brady might be number 1 after this. I mean, that's just like, commentators, though. That never actually plays out. We don't know who the actual rankings guys are. But like, if it's number 1 or number 2, it doesn't matter, because either like from 1 to 5, either any of those guys can make a case if their record is good enough, if their last fight was exciting enough, if people want to see it.
Yeah. So, Jack Della Maddalena is now fighting for the title.
Right.
So, yeah, I kind of see the UFC putting Brady and Shavkat together. I do. I kind of see that happening.
I mean, it would be a long time to wait for that fight to play out. When is Bilal's fight happening?
It's coming up pretty soon.
It's like next month, right?
Yeah.
So, I don't know. I feel like whoever is next, I don't know. Maybe they'll give the winner a choice. So I'm assuming Bilal's going to win. That's kind of my pick. But whoever wins that fight, maybe it'll give them a choice of who they want to fight next. Because otherwise, they're going to be sitting out and waiting for the winner of that fight, which might take longer than being able to get another title fight going. They love their title fights.
They do.
Especially when they don't have a heavyweight title fight in the works. So you're going to need to fill those pay-per-view spaces.
We'll have to wait and see.
We shall have to wait and see. What'd you think about the co-main? Who do you think won?
Ugh. So I could see both of them winning, honestly. But I mean, I was rooting for Blachowicz today.
Blachowicz. I really wish they had put that part in the ad. So
we can edit it in. We can make our own
scrum
of our outtakes, because we have so many.
We should make our own. Oh my goodness. I feel like that would get way more views, especially because we don't be using copyrighted music.
I know. Why do you keep doing that to us? Come on, guys.
So we did our picks video where I go, Jessica, do you know how to use dualbits.com? You're like,
no, show me.
All right, here we go. And then she kept going, I like Blachowicz. I'm like, bitch, if you don't say his name right.
I didn't want to say it wrong, so I was trying to take each segment it out and just properly enunciate. And then put it together.
Disrespectful.
I was pronouncing each syllable.
Syllable. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, that's kind of how I'm going to pronounce his name from now on. Jan Blachowicz. It's like how I would pronounce it.
It was innocent until I started saying it more, and I was like, it just sounded more and more like...
It was innocent until you said it to me, and then I started getting offended. I'm like, what are you trying to say? What did you call me?
I was being subliminally influenced by my environment.
It's because I invited you to the twerk class, isn't it?
Exactly.
See, that's why I don't do things that make me look like a stereotype. So, Blachowicz.
You can't not say it.
I cannot. It's so fun to say.
You're welcome.
I was rooting for him too, and watching the fight, I'm like, if I always think of fights that are close in, I guess a escape where it's my fight, and I'm like, if I fought what's his name?
Ulberg.
Ulberg, I would have lost every round.
Yeah.
So to win a fight, moving backwards, not really landing clean. I think the second round was Ulberg's best round. I would have given Ulberg round 2 just because he landed a lot of leg kicks and Jan couldn't really find him. But in the first and the third, he was able to hit him at least more than Ulberg was able to land on him. He was commanding a space, which is something that you only take into consideration when the fight is like razor thin, super close. And he was dictating like, where the fight was ending up. Ulberg ran, he circled a lot, and he made the fight a really boring fight. So it frustrates me because I honestly feel, and like Dean Thomas was on the show afterwards, the post-fight show, and he said the same thing, that when a fighter is a prospect and they're coming up and they have a streak and they're younger and they have like, more time left in their fight life, then a lot of times people will score it for that guy when it's super close. And I don't think it's fair.
It's not.
It's not fair at all, because if you're looking at a fight, you should not be looking at the tail of the tape, not be looking at the record, not be looking at anything else. You should only be looking at what's happening in the fight. And I feel like the judges totally did that. They were like, this young man, he's got more life left in him. Let's give him this
on his
win.
way out. No, I thought Jan fought a good fight. I think that there were some points, like you said, where he couldn't find Ulberg, but he would make adjustments repeatedly, and then he would get him with those blitzes. He would just get him with big shots, and he was trying to push forward. He was trying to close the distance. He was doing more pressure and power shots. And Ulberg did his typical game. And honestly, I think he's at a point where if he wants to get to the next level, if he wants to climb that ladder, he's going to have to switch it up. He's going to need to add more tools to his tool belt, because that's not going to cut it.
No, I like if they give him someone like Penne next, I feel like he's going to find him, or he's going to lose because he didn't land anything with power.
Yeah.
Same with, who else is at the top there? Oh, I thought you had it pulled up.
Oh, yeah. I do. I got you, girl.
Hey. Yeah. So, I mean, even a fight with Jerry, like he's pressure all day, like he has a chin on him. I think Ulberg is one of those guys who kind of got a leg up because he's a little pretty.
Maybe.
A little pretty, got a pretty record as well. But man, did that fight make him look unattractive.
Oh, there's nothing worse. Now you got the ick.
We
got the ick for Ulberg.
I can't stand a guy that moves backwards and throws flicky kicks. Oh, flicky kicks are the bane of my existence when I'm watching
It's
fights.
almost bad as this.
Oh.
Yeah, it's a thing.
It's horrible.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't. Yeah, the way he fought versus Jan was the first time I actually noticed it, because usually he's able to bait people into his trap and then land with power. But because Jan was so defensive, there was never that big moment that Ulberg was looking for, and then he just pointed his way to a decision victory. And yeah, I was very into the way that fight went down, but I mean that's what he had to do to get the win against someone like Jan Blachowicz, who has upsetted a lot of people like him before. So, yeah, we'll see what happens next with that. Hopefully he'll get another big KO in his next outing so we could think he's cute again. Remember when, who was it? Who was it in that movie? He was in the Stuntman movie, and he was in that Drive movie. What's his name?
Oh,
It's not Ryan
dude.
Gosling,
Yeah.
is it? Oh, yeah, okay. I thought it was the wrong white boy. So, remember, there was this movie that Ryan Gosling did, and he was out in Thailand training for it. And I was, like, big into Muay Thai back then, so I'm like, ooh, Ryan Gosling is training Muay Thai in Thailand for a role. And then I watched the movie, and could never find him attractive again.
Oh.
It was so bad. It was such bad Muay Thai. And he ended up getting beat up by, like, some old, like, cop in Thailand in the movie, so it made it even worse. But like getting beat up wasn't the bad part. It was the way he like threw a punch.
It's hard. No, it's hard.
It's not good. Or the kick. Oh my God. It's just like, yo, you should have trained a little longer. Or just not done it. Just
Or gotten a stunt double.
Yeah, just let the stunt man do it. Like
Yeah.
it would have been so easy. But no, he really wanted his face to be in there.
It's a shame. I mean, they could do deep fakes these days. They didn't need to do them like that.
Yeah, it was pretty bad. I did like the Stuntman movie though, so I was like, okay, I
haven't
forgive you.
seen it yet.
Oh, it was good.
I should
It's
watch
really
it.
good. You should watch it. You like it. It's like a quirky little like action romance out of nowhere. So it was cute.
Maybe I'll use it as a palate cleanser in between all of my murder documentaries and thrillers.
Yeah, make you love life a tiny bit before
Just
you go
a
back
little
to hating
bit.
it.
Yeah. Just like, dark clouds around me at all times, I guess.
Mm. God. Well, there were no dark clouds around the Gunnar Nelson Holland fight. I did pick Gunnar to win, but I'm happy I was wrong. I was trying to go against my heart bet.
No, I get it. I think, and it wasn't, a bad bet to go just because of the skid that Holland's been on.
Yeah.
You look at the body of work and you kind of have to like look at that objectively. But what I saw was just also Gunnar had an uphill battle with coming back after 2 years out, and just being so inconsistent with his fighting in the past several years. And I thought that, Holland going up to 185 kind of clouds people's judgment because he's a taller frame, but he's not a big guy. So I feel like he's better at 175, although, he can hang at 185. He's going to be kind of a 50-50 fighter just because of the size and strength advantage that the other guys have.
Yeah, it's a big jump.
It's huge. There needs to be a weight class in between.
Dude.
We need like 55, 65...
75.
75, 85.
Why not?
I mean, yeah, it's a huge gap. The amount of weight that people cut to 185, I mean, they're walking around like 220, 230 sometimes.
Yeah.
They're huge.
It's nuts. And then, the fact that there's nothing in between those. That's something that Kevin Lee would always get mad about. He'd always say there needs to be a 160-pound weight class because he struggled to make 55, and then 70 he just felt really small. And so once you get to 55, everything is a big 15-pound jump, and it's rough. Like, yeah, I would hate to be stuck in the middle. Like I feel like I'm stuck in the middle already with strawweight and atom weight.
Yeah.
So, and there's a lot of people like our girl Jenna, I feel like she would be a perfect 120 pounder.
Sure.
But there's a lot of girls who are cutting way more weight to get down to 125. Same with us. A lot of girls who are cutting way more weight to get down to 115. So when you rehydrate, you're like, the fuck is this big bitch?
I'm like, who is that?
It's like, I know I was bigger than you yesterday. I felt bigger than you yesterday. You look so small. You don't realize that you're also like in a very tiny, scrawny frame. But the next day, you're just like, holy shit. Like, okay, all right. I guess I'm fighting the monster.
That's why I'm so excited about fighting at 110. It's not quite atom weight, but it's not straw weight. And the gap from 110 to the girls now having to fight at 125 really evens the playing field.
Yeah.
I'm really excited about that because you have people that, cut a ton of weight to 115. Now they can't manage that extra 5 pounds. So it just kind of keeps it a little bit more honest.
Yeah.
I appreciate it.
Yeah. That used to be my Muay Thai weight class. It's 110. Yeah.
It's nice.
Yeah, it's a fun one. Well, we only talked about three fights. But let's talk about Gunnar Holland real quick. How funny was that little omoplata pickup?
I was like, I've done that
It was
before.
so cute. I
I've
love
been the
that.
dangly one.
Yeah. But did you smile at your opponent as he dangled from it?
Probably.
I feel like you did that, like, I got your face.
Ah!
You know that face you make when you go for the armbar? You're like,
I get really excited. Oh, I love an arm.
you're like a dog on a bone.
Love it. Love it. No, it's cute. It's It's hard because I feel like fighting Holland, like he'll take you out of his game with just like his movements, the things he goes for, and the communication that he has with you in the fight.
Yeah, nah.
It just takes you out. But I thought it was a really cute moment, and I'm glad that was highlighted.
Yeah,
throughout the internet, it was cute.
Whenever Kevin Holland fights, it makes me think of who is it? Chris Tucker in Rush Hour. I'm always like, yeah. Anytime he like says something stupid during the fight, I'm like, that would be written in a script in like an action movie with with
Chris Tucker.
Yeah, and what's his name? Jackie Chan. Yeah, he would say it to Jackie Chan, and Jackie Chan would be like, oh, and then jump through a window and do a backflip. But yeah, that was a fun fight to watch. Did they get fight of the night?
I actually don't know who won the bonuses. I can pull that up though.
Yeah, but it was a fun one. I think people were saying that one got fight of the night, but it was kind of funny because it wasn't like super, super exciting, which kind of reflects the entire night of fights. Like I think most of the fights were pretty well matched, where there weren't any big moments. It was just a lot of technical fights. Yeah, I don't know. I'm trying to say. I'm still tired from twerk class.
I know what you mean. Brady got performance of the night, and then who is this?
Shauna Bannon.
Who's that? Who's doing a backflip? Oh, was that Kavanaugh?
Oh, I don't know.
Oh, Kevin Holland did get a performance of the night.
Did he?
Yeah.
Or was that just people who won?
No, I thought these were.
I know that's just people who won.
Don't listen to me, guys.
Things like these are easy to celebrate. I hate that they do that. Get out of here. I'm gonna go on the Twitter.
No, it's here.
Okay. Here we go. Thainara defeating Molly got performance. Sean Brady got performance. Oh, it was all performances. Shauna Bannon got performance. And, they did get, Kevin Holland? Oh, okay.
No fight of the night.
Yeah. Good. I'm happy with those picks. What'd you think about Thainara versus Molly Mccann and Molly's retirement?
I mean, I understand how she was feeling and wanting to retire after, a loss like that. And I mean, it makes sense. I just never think that you should really make those kinds of decisions on the spot when you're in an emotional state. You know what I mean?
I get you. I feel like she was probably feeling that way already, though.
No, I think so. I mean, if you look at it, she dropped down a weight class because she was having challenges at flyweight. And now she drops down to straw weight, and now she's kind of, getting mixed results. So I understand.
Yeah, same. I think it's probably been on her mind for a while. The opponent change probably made it a little more like, okay, you're at a crossroads with this fight. Because before, who was she supposed to fight? She was supposed to fight Estela Nunes, who was coming off of 4 losses and was released basically from the UFC, but brought back in, and then she signed this fight with Molly Mccann. So it was obvious that they were trying to set Molly up for a win.
Yeah. Then
when she pulled and they brought in this girl from Contender Series, who is just a bruiser. Like if you guys didn't watch her Contender Series fight, she looks like the worst person to fight when you're unsure about if you still got the juice. You know what I mean? Like, she came in with confidence in her Contender Series fight. She just strikes from everywhere. She goes for big takedowns, throws with power, doesn't really care about her head. So it's like people
she's a little spark plug.
Yeah, it's like you can game plan against someone like that and know the perfect thing to do to counter her and to, like, land on her chin. But when you get in front of someone like that, you feel their confidence, and it can shrink you a bit.
Yeah.
And you saw that happen immediately with Molly in that first round. Like as soon as they started moving, she was just, not respecting her at all. Kind of the same way Sean Brady just had no respect for Edwards, came straight in and started the game plan before her opponent could get the footing. Like they both kind of did that. And when I was just like watching tape and seeing the weigh in and like all the antics on the way in, I'm like, this could go one of two ways. Like she can do the typical like Brazilian like gas out thing right away, use all her energy walking in, doing the screams when they say her name, and then just gas out after the first 2 minutes, or she can steamroll her. And the steamroll is what happened. And it was kind of interesting the way she set that up. Like she went for the can opener a lot, which I was surprised
it's crazy
worked.
that we saw this in 2 fights. You never see a can opener.
Yeah,
and we
right?
saw it in Gunnar Nelson versus Holland, and we saw it in this one.
Well, I feel like Gunnar watched her fight and was like, oh, I'm going to try this.
I
like
know, sometimes you're really impressionable backstage. And you see something like, oh, yeah, I'll do that.
I used to do that all the time.
Yeah, that works. I'm bringing it back.
Yeah. But I think someone who's better off of their back would have taken advantage of that. But maybe it's her move. Maybe that's her thing that she uses to open the guard and get her opponents to make a mistake. So she was able to use the can opener to open Molly's guard, get her to kind of try to get up before she was ready, and take that back. And then, you could just tell that like Molly knew what to do, or she had options rather. Like she had options to escape the back mount, but it just felt like her mind was clouded.
Potentially.
You know what I mean?
No,
like, and
it's hard. It's hard knowing that you are, favored in a fight, and then to have somebody just kind of take it to you and not be able to have any kind of offense and be kind of like a passenger in the round. That's really hard, and it can put you into a space where you're not making the best judgments and
a stasis.
And
She's like, just hold on to the arm, and it's tough to watch because seeing Molly's fights in the past, I'm like, okay, she knows how to get out of this. And then she was just kind of, immobile.
Yeah.
And so, I feel like the moment got to her, and the girl got so ahead that she just froze. And then Thainara was able to get that win, get the finish, and Molly retired. So it sucks to see it go, but we'll see if she actually stays away. I think she probably will, just because she's been having so many struggles with like her own confidence and working on her mental health when it comes to fighting. And it seems like she's excited about coaching and going to the next step. So I feel like we might actually see her just take a back seat and enjoy the rest of her life. She's already become like really famous from fighting too. So I feel like, maybe she feels that she's gotten as much as she could from the sport at this point.
Potentially. I mean, and if she does choose to coach, she has a lot to give. I think she's a great ambassador for the sport. I think that her energy, her knowledge, her wisdom, all of that would be great to cultivate the youngins, and I think she would just be great to be in the corner. So I'm sure that there's a space for her in the sport if she chooses it. But whatever she chooses, that's her choice, and I'm sure that she'll take all of her knowledge that she's learned from fighting and being in the UFC on that platform and move forward.
Yeah. How much did you love Thainara's walk-in?
I didn't. I did not. It looked like she was having fun, though.
Oh, you're such a hater.
I am.
I thought it was great.
No,
I didn't. No, I didn't. I'm with you. I hated it. Dude, the whole time I was like, oh, it would suck to fight someone like that. Oh, it's so annoying. Like, I feel like her whole thing would just throw you off. Like, her entire demeanor, like, the screaming, the not... Like, you can't even yell back at her because she doesn't speak English.
No, it's a lot. It's a lot of energy. It's very chaotic.
That's a lot. Like, that's the type of person you just want to take down and hold and just, like, try to tire them out just by sitting on them until they stop going.
Yeah, it's obnoxious.
Oh, my God. She reminds me of Johnny Walker, but with less rhythm.
Johnny Walker's more likable.
I couldn't hear the song, but I don't think she was on beat. It actually made me more confident in my twerk class. After watching that, because that happened right before the twerk class. I'm like, okay, if she can go out there and do all that, I can twerk in front of a bunch of strangers and not feel bad about it.
Confidence comes from within.
It does. It does.
As she showed us.
It does, yes. Yeah, so definitely got to do the twerk walk on the way to the cage, even if nothing's moving, because I just cut weight and it doesn't move even when I don't cut weight. But got to do that next time I go out. Get that confidence going.
Stop it.
We'll see if it can move on fight week.
Probably not. Let's drink a little extra water.
Oh, yeah. And then we had another strawweight fight on the card. Shauna Bannon versus Puja Tomar. That fight was wild.
That was a really interesting matchup. Both girls and their kind of a traditional stances, really loving leading with those lead legs, very dexterous.
Being so kind.
I'm trying. No, it's you wonder. So the UFC is bringing in a new wave of talent, and some of the talent are still a bit raw and small. They're on the smaller side, and they're in the less experienced side of the division. And so I always wonder who they're going to pair people up with. And I thought that this was good matchmaking. It was.
Yeah.
I thought it was good matchmaking. It's just I wonder in the future, like, who are they going to get paired up with? At some point, they're going to be sacrificed to the division. No?
Don't let them girls get a number.
No.
Don't do it. Not yet.
No.
Not yet. Just keep signing Contender Series fight people for them and Road to UFC people for them to fight until then. Yeah. Yeah, that was that fight, like I get it because it's they only fight out there, or Shauna Bannon only fights like in London or near Ireland. So I get that, little fan favorite thing. And then Puja Tomar, she was the one who was the
second
Indian lady to win a fight in the UFC. But, like, I didn't think she won that. And then the first thing I saw online was people getting angry that Puja Tomar won the first round on two of the judges' scorecards. I think a lot of people thought that Shauna Bannon won the first round. She
did.
Yeah, but Puja Tomar scored the first round on the scorecards.
No.
Yeah, before the finish.
Who the fuck did that? Oh, my God. My computer battery is going low.
Okay, I'll find it for you. I'll find it for you. But that was like the first, I think it was on Verdict. That was the first thing I saw in regards to that fight. And I feel like judges don't understand what a flick kick is. What a flicky kick is. So most of Verdict people scored the first round for Shauna Bannon. But then you had Chris Lee scoring the first round for Puja Tomar. So did Daryl Ransom. And I'm not sure who the third judge was, but two judges scored the first round for Puja, who robbed the girl that she got her first win against. Like
she did.
I remember we watched that
it's
fight.
A bit karmatic.
Yeah.
But in this case, Puja Tomar was pushed back against the cage. And I mean, she landed some hard, fast shots, or I mean, she threw some hard, fast shots, but it was all Bannon coming forward, faking her out. Maybe they weren't power shots, and maybe, that's what the judges saw, but they were still very effective. Her feints, her stutters, all of what she was doing was confusing Tomar.
Yeah. So who won? Who won the round? Well, I mean, we know who won now. I mean, it could have been Puja, but then she let herself get armbarred.
Oh my God, that was very white belt-esque. But
Did
she has
did you enjoy that setup?
You mean where she just stuck her arm in position to be armbarred?
We should break that down.
The setup? Yeah. We'll work on that. We'll show that for sure.
Just basically spin you around in a circle so you can mimic being concussed and then wake up and see the arm. Armbar, go. Suck it in. Suction crotch. Maybe she just has really good suction crotch, which is a thing that,
it is.
Our coaches teach us.
Yes, they do. Suck it in.
Yeah. Some people got it. Some people don't.
No, I mean, you can learn it, but I mean, if it's not a naturally occurring thing for you, it might take a little bit longer, like twerking.
Yeah.
Little booties need to work harder.
Yeah.
Small suctions need to work harder.
Thigh gaps need to work harder.
That's it.
Oh my God. Pole actually gives you a good suction crotch. I remember mentioning that to Demopolis because she used to strip, and I'm like, yo, I bet your armbar is like tight. She's like, no, it actually is. I'm like, yeah, I bet you could like suck it back in if you start to lose it. She's like, yeah, actually, I can.
Good for her.
That's one of my tricks. You can actually make money doing that in Thailand.
See, there are no wasted efforts. You just everything helps you as you go.
Yeah. Well, Jess, is there any other fight you want to talk about?
Not really.
There were good fights on the card, but let's move on.
Well, we do have some fun fights coming up next weekend.
What fight night is that?
We have Moreno versus Usyk.
Ooh,
yeah,
Mexico
in the main event, Mexico City altitude. We'll see who got in early, who's gonna suffocate from lack of oxygen.
I feel like at this point, like you know that you got to get out there early. I think when UFC first started going out to Mexico City, people thought it was a myth.
No, they're not lying. They're
like, it's just a mental toughness thing. Like,
no, it's a biology science thing.
Yeah, it sucks.
It's awful.
Yeah. So who do we have in the lineup for Mexico City?
So on the main card, we have Moreno and Usyk. Then we have Manuel Torres versus Drew Dober. Kelvin Gastelum versus Joe Pfeiffer. Raul Rosa versus Vince Morales. He does it to himself. Do not feel bad for him.
Poor Kelvin. Sorry, Raul Rosas, he's back. He cleaned his room.
Yes, and then he's not grounded anymore. He got a day pass or a week pass to get out for fight week, and then he's right back in there.
Yeah, doing the laundry
until he's of age. And then in the strawweight division, we have Lupi Godinez and Julia Pilastri. That should be an interesting fight. I give Lupi a slight advantage, although Pilastri could be a little bit difficult.
Yeah, but I don't think she's got anything super special.
She's not as dynamic.
Yeah, I feel like Lupi has power and takedowns, which is if you only have one, then Pilastri is going to be a headache. But because she has both, she has like those heavy hooks. She uses them well to set up her takedowns. Her boxing has gotten a lot more defensive too. Like she's not getting hit as much nowadays. But I do feel like Lupi's been a little less aggressive in the past, and it's taken away from her performances. But I feel like she should she should take it to Palastri pretty easily. And she's probably going to be one of the ones who went out early, too, because she's
like already out there in Guadalajara.
Yeah, she's good. She just has to go up a little bit.
Yeah.
She was actually supposed to, or Palastri was actually supposed to fight our girl Yasmin, but she ended up getting hurt.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
Dang.
So she had to pull out of that one. And Loopy's kind of taking it on short notice, but she still had a good amount of weeks to get ready for it. Like at least 6, I think.
I feel like she's one of those girls that stays in shape and ready for short notice.
Yeah, but at least she had time to like get to altitude if she chose to do that.
Yeah, you've got to. And I mean, I think at this point people know that they need to. It's just whether they have the resources to do so. Mm-hmm. That can be the challenge at this point. But yeah, you definitely need to get out there early. Mm-hmm. All right.
So, do you want to do picks or something?
Oh, yeah. Let's do picks. Yeah.
I mean, we don't have to.
I mean, we can. I'm going to go for Moreno. This one's kind of hard. I'm going for Dober, although I know that they're probably banking on
Heart bet.
I know. And then I'm going for Pfeiffer.
Okay. I think I got the same ones. Who else we got? I think I'm gonna go for Loopy for that other one.
For sure.
Hit on the prelims again.
Right back over.
Let's see.
Wow, this is a big card.
I know, right? Yeah, those are the only ones I would put my money on. Mm-hmm. Everyone else is kind of an unknown. But yeah, those are some good fights. That should be fun to watch. Yeah, Mexico City is a fun place to fight because they have that huge arena, and everyone gets their first fight a night. So they're just like going insane.
No, the energy in that arena is pretty insane. Yeah. It'll definitely like give you a little bit extra fuel, a little bit extra power on that night, a little bit extra, all that minus the cardio.
Yeah, it's like a big city, but the people there treat you like a smaller town here. You know what I mean? Like, they're really appreciative to have the UFC there. They're excited to meet everyone, whether they know who you are or not. If they see you in, like, a UFC hoodie, they're like, oh, my God. And they'll, like, Google and figure out who you are and go, oh, my God. You know, like, you really feel appreciated out there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We don't get that feeling in the U.S.
No, they don't. They're like,
they don't
another
care.
one. I've met you before. Move it along. Yeah, so that'll be a fun one. And then, yeah, anything else you want to talk about? We had a couple little non sequiturs that we want to get to.
Nah. We're all good. Oh, we could mention that UFC is getting into boxing. We could mention that. I know it's kind of weird, but their pay scale is what worries me. They're trying to use the same pay scale in boxing that they do for the UFC, and it's a bit disappointing.
It's gross. So I like the initial get-in fee because that's going to be more than a lot of boxers get paid when they first get into, like.
But for a 10-round fight.
How much do boxers usually get paid for a 10-round fight? Is it more than that?
More.
And when they're nobodies?
Yeah, they're nobodies.
No, because
nobody cares about you.
No. I mean, like when they're just starting out. Like But
10 rounds is already. If you're already fighting 10 rounds,
you're getting paid more.
Then that means that you've been fighting for a bit.
Okay, yeah. I've read something where it was saying that, like on one end of the scale, yeah, boxers are getting paid a lot more than MMA fighters, but on the other end, it's hard for, up and comers, people who don't have a name, to get paid like a good chunk of money.
I mean, that is fair to say, but they're also fighting like 4 or 5 rounds. Mm-hmm. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And now 10 rounds, I mean, 12 rounds is a title. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So it seems a little low to start. Yeah, I'm sure in, certain arenas that, 20 is a good price and more than they could get paid somewhere else. But it just seems for the boxing. And then you have to be ranked number 5 to 10 to get $50K.
And that's the thing that makes me wary of the whole system, because the rankings have fucked me my entire career. So for my pay scale to be banked on something that's super arbitrary, like a ranking system, imagine they sign a bunch of people. They are all, say, 4-0. Everyone wins, loses, whatever. I could be 5-0. I could be 4-1. Somebody else can have the same record. They'll be ranked number 1.
Well,
I'll be ranked number 16.
Yeah, the thing that's really hard in boxing is that once you lose your O, you become a feeder. You know what I'm saying? Like boxing, and I mean, I know things happen in MMA, and there are, promoters and managers that are lining their fighter up for this path to success. But in boxing, an O on your record is very, very important. And so they really, really navigate people's careers. But if you have a loss on your record, you now become somebody who's being brought in to cultivate the next big thing. Yeah. It's very unforgiving. It's really challenging. Yeah. So it's hard. And then you go up to number 3 and 4, and now you're getting paid $125. But you know that those rankings are
arbitrary.
Yes.
Like, who's deciding who the rankings are?
Exactly. The company.
The company, which is also a red flag when it says the company's this, the company's champion. Yeah. The company is deciding who's going to make money and who isn't. And a lot of that has to do with your look, how much they think you're marketable.
You have.
Yes, how good you are at TikTok
how
dances.
Young you are.
Yeah, exactly. They're like, oh, can you do this thing that guy does? Can you do that really fast?
Perfect. We love you. Number 2.
Yeah, number 2. You get paid more. So it feels like we're backsliding, or not even backsliding, but just going full in on this like entertainment scale, and where fights are more entertainment than actual sport and based on merit and that type of thing. Yeah.
Sigh.
Deep sigh. It's okay. It always swings back the other way. Everything that you don't like that's happening now will go the opposite way eventually. And then it'll go back to you not liking it again. But everyone gets a chance to be happy eventually if you live long enough. All right. Well, I think I'm out of ammo. How about you?
Yeah, I was done a while ago. Oh my God.
I
need a day off.
My back.
My back.
My neck and my back.
I will say though that my glutes, all the max, the mid, the minus, whatever, all of them are sore.
Nice.
Which I'm very happy about.
They look sore.
Does that mean stiff?
They look as sore as my back. The rotund is what it means.
Popping.
Yeah.
Not
nice
popping
little rounds.
like this, but just.
Yeah, there you go. You just need some looser pants. I swear, you would have been hitting yourself in the back of the head.
I would have been hitting everybody. I just never know, with the age range. I don't want to, offend children or,
Oh, my God. There are some ladies in there with their little pink shorts and their cellulite, and they looked phenomenal. I was just like, yo, this is the confidence I need to bring into the rest of my life. Like, these ladies, they look great. They're jiggling their shit. It's on beat. I love it. So yeah, guys, go into this week with the confidence of a 50-year-old twerker in twerk class.
In pink shorts.
In pink shorts. Yes.
You got this.
And blue hair.
You got this.
You know who you are. I'm inspired. Thank you for inspiring me. Well, this has been another Two Straws.
See you next time.
Yeah. Next time we do our raffle. We're gonna do
make sure that you are subscribing. Hit that little button so you can get in the mix. We have great prizes available to you, but only if you are a subscriber.
Yep. So tune in and we'll pick a person next time. Bye.